Hey friends, fans, and enemies, how's it going out there? This is Ryan Boundless, 15-year expat, coming to you from Osaka, Japan. Well, it's September now, mid-September, and it's finally cooling off. The humidity in July and August is just nuclear. It is really, really uncomfortable. And if I'm here again next year in July and August, please shoot me. So I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm liking Japan a lot more now. It's just more comfortable to be outside and to go about your everyday life. So, in my last podcast, I got a lot of negative messages, which was to be expected. I think when you ruin a Weibo's dream and tell them that Japan is not the fairy tale land that they want it to be, people get angry. And I've even gotten people who supposedly have lived here for a long, long time telling me that they're perfectly happy here. I don't know if I'm getting trolled, but I think if you've lived here for over 8 years, the reality of living here really starts to sink in, and you do realize that it's not all roses. And there are those guys out there who have been here for 20 years. I've met them. I've known them. They can't speak a word of Japanese. Well, they can say the basic greetings and stuff, but they can't even hold a simple conversation, telling basic information about themselves. And they are totally ignorant, and they're just in their own little bubble. They have their little Japanese wife who speaks English, do everything for them. And, those people might be happy because they don't really, I don't know, they're in their own little gaijin bubble world. So those people might be happy. But for those of us who have made an attempt to learn Japanese and I don't know, try to adapt to Japan and have Japanese friends and get into their world, if you've been here for more than 8 years, you know that what it's like. You know that every conversation always starts with the differences between being Japanese and a Westerner. So that's just a reality. Sorry if you don't like it. So people ask me, these haters or enemies or whatever, they ask me, do you even like Japan? Why do you stay there if you don't like it? And I was thinking about this. It's a valid question. I can't say I hate Japan. I mean, if I really hated it so much, then I would go. So it's not all bad, but I think one source of my unhappiness is my jobs. I mean, I've been teaching English for 15 years, and it's not a bad job. It's better than being a janitor or flipping burgers at McDonald's, but it's also very redundant, and it's just, I think everybody, hopefully, at some point in their life, they can find something that they're passionate about. And if you're really lucky, that's something you can pursue and get paid to do. And for me, teaching English is not one of them. Actually, I enjoy teaching English to my friends, my Japanese friends, or my other friends from other countries who can't speak English, just for free. I love sitting down with Rie, my girlfriend, and just, helping her learn English for free. When I'm doing it for free and it's somebody who's a friend or close to me, I don't mind it at all. I love it. I love it more than working. But when it's work, for some reason, I don't enjoy it because it's like I'm being forced to do it. I mean, I'm doing it for money, but I have to deal with a lot of shit that I wouldn't put up with if there was not money involved. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. And a lot of jobs, no, I take that back. Most of the jobs that foreigners can get here are only, well, they're gaijin jobs. You got that job because you're a foreigner. So I don't know. It's like you're a decoration, In Japanese they say misemono. Misemono means mise means to show, and mono means thing. So a thing to show, or a showy thing. And it's just kind of like you're a clown, you're here to entertain people and be a gaijin. And that's why you can get that job, and that's why it pays a lot. But on the other hand, I have to admit that if I were Japanese, I would not fit. I don't think I would fit into Japan. I could not deal with the work culture here among the Japanese, and just always being in a group and working overtime with no overtime pay. And then after that, going out for drinks, even though I didn't want to, and all that bullshit. No, I couldn't deal with working 16 hours a day and my life being my job, and just having to conform to the group mentality. No way, I wouldn't survive. So on the one hand, I'm kind of resentful that Westerners here are pretty much confined to doing these kind of, pipe barrel organ monkey on a chain jobs. On the other hand, I'm glad I don't have to work like a Japanese person. So, just changing topics. I have been feeling very conflicted recently, and the reason is because I wanted to set up this channel as a channel and to have videos that show my journey through life. I don't always expect to be in Japan, but I happen to be in Japan right now, so Japan comes up a lot in my videos. But I didn't want to be a J-vlogger. I don't want to attach my identity to Japan, like that's the only thing that makes me interesting, or that's what I'm all about. I have other hobbies and interests that are not related to Japan. So I feel like there's a wave of weebos and people that want to see only Japan related content, and it's hard for me to put out videos that aren't related to Japan, because I feel like it gets a lot of backlash from that. And I just have felt conflicted about that. So I'm thinking about how to carry on from here on out with my channel and videos I put out. Okay, I want to end this podcast with a positive story. The other day I was coming from work. I was riding the bus, and when the bus came to the station where I had to get off, the fare was $5. Yeah, buses are expensive here in Japan. So I go up to the bus driver, when I'm getting out of the bus, to pay the fare. And I looked in my wallet, and I only had a $100 bill. Well, actually, it was 10,000 yen. But just to make things understandable, I'll talk in dollars. So I only had a $100 bill. And the bus driver saw it, and he said, "No, we don't take $100 bills." So I opened up my coin pocket, and I poured out all the coins, and I counted them out, and I only had $3 in change. I had $2 in like large denomination coins, and then I had like another dollar in like pennies and nickels. And I just held it out, and I'm like, this is all I got. It's about $3. And he thought about it for a second, and he's like, and then he took $2 of large denomination coins out of my hand. He's like, okay, this is fine. You can just pay $2 this time and pay the rest next time. And then he kind of winked at me. And I was like, that's awesome, man. I'm so glad you didn't make a big deal out of it. And he was a really nice guy. And so I just paid $2 for my $5 bus fare, and I was on my way.